So creating exceptional real estate experiences for our agents, our customers, and our communities through the passionate delivery of truly remarkable service is our mission. But changing lives is what we do. Hey everybody, and welcome to the Distinctive Property Show. Todd Conklin here, coming back from Nashville, Tennessee, where we had the Coldwell Banker Leadership Summit for 2017. And I have to tell you, we were in the room with leaders, owners, brokers, trainers, marketing directors that represented over 140 of the top companies in the system. And wow, was there a lot of information. Wow, were we completely humbled. Did you know that we were basically in the top 10 of virtually every single measurable statistic? Coldwell Banker, Distinctive Properties, and Prime Properties. Pretty amazing. And what we learned is a ton of what we're doing is leaps and bounds above what's happening in other parts of the market. All of this within the number one brand in the company. Off the charts, an incredible time. There's going to be a ton more coming your way on what we learned and how we might be able to use it to become even better. But what I wanted to talk about today, one of the main topics that I heard a lot of the owners talking about was about inventory. Inventory obviously historically low, and some of the markets out of control low, but no matter which of our areas, inventory is either flat or down. And so here was a question. What can we do in today's market to make sure that we're not just good, that we're great, right? That we're not just different, but exceptional, that we're without question the chosen one. And I took a bunch of notes, and I'm going to kind of cheat here and take a look at them, but it was a common conversation throughout. And I think ultimately the reality is this: it's no longer enough for it just to be you or just to be the company. It has to be everybody together, right? It's about together we eliminate the competition. So before we get there, right, we need to get ourselves prepared. So number one on our list is know your numbers, right? Really get into the numbers. Know what's happening with stats. Be the expert, right? The bottom line, everybody is going to say that they're number one, right? There's a brand that says that they're number one because they have the most agents. They don't sell anywhere near as much sales volume as Coldwell Banker agents do. Might be a really interesting conversation to talk about, right? There's a brand out there that says they have more transactions than does anybody else. But again, their dollar volume is significantly less than Coldwell Banker, meaning their average sales price is like $80,000, where yours is obviously significantly more. So everybody's going to say they're number one about something. You need to know, what is the per person productivity? Why is that important? Well, if the average Coldwell Banker agent sells 20% more than the National Association of Realtors, in other words, they're 20% better than the average real estate agent, doesn't that speak to professionalism? Doesn't that speak to the education? Doesn't that speak to the brand and the capabilities of the average Coldwell Banker agent? I think so, right? How about the fact that you're with Distinctive Properties and Prime Properties, a company that does more than $400 million in transactions every year? That's a big number. In most cases, it's bigger than any one competitor that you have in your marketplaces. So to be able to talk about that size and obviously extrapolate out what the benefits to the client would be as a result of that. And you need to know your team. I mean, folks, we have a marketing division. Like, it's a real honest to goodness marketing department that's out trying to identify different sources of lead generation, trying to identify different ways to leverage the brand marketing to properly expose your properties, to properly identify potential buyers and sellers that are interested in you and the properties that you're marketing. Nobody else has that, right? Video and virtual reality, an amazing team in Step Beyond Media. Nobody else has that, right? we've got contracts, you've got your managing directors and your office managers, you've got a CEO, we've got coaching. Like there's all of these pieces. You really need to know your team and understand what the benefit, not only to you as the agent, but how does that equate? What does that say to your clients? Because here's the bottom line. If you're making this a popularity contest, right, then what you're doing is you're opening it up to everybody. Now it's about whether or not my buddy I ride bikes with, right? Where if it were about a business decision, it would not only be the fact that I ride bikes with that person, but it's also the fact that my company, my brand, my personal business kicks butt above everybody else, right? All right, so what are some other ways that we can do this? Low-hanging fruit, right? How about smart homes? Jill Hickson, Coldwell Banker regional marketing person, was in our offices just recently talking about a real simple way, right, to differentiate yourself. Coldwell Banker is the only company out there that has a smart home certification. That won't last forever. What an amazing way for you to separate yourself from everybody else. How about the selling incentive program? Do you understand the selling incentive program, and can you talk to a prospective seller about how we're offering agents the opportunity to make an extra $10,000 all for selling your home? Nobody else does that, right? How about Matterport and video? Utilizing the technology to expose your property in a way that someone doesn't even actually have to be here, right? We all know how important the photos are, but everybody knows that now, right? Of course, you can't take photos with your iPhone or anything else and expect it to meet the criteria of the average buyer, right? It's gone. Well, at this point, video, almost expected, right? How about Matterport? How about being able to experience a property in a way that someone in Tokyo could really get it and really understand it? And does that generate additional exposure for your seller? Does that mean something to your seller? Of course it does, especially in our resort markets. How about global luxury? Nobody sells more luxury real estate as defined by listings $1 million or greater than any other brand. It's over $126 million every day that Coldwell Banker closes. Folks, we own the global luxury space. More on that coming from your Director of Global Luxury, Derek Svenningsson. See, I said it right. On that a little bit later. How about your listing presentation? Are you utilizing them? Here's what I do know. I've seen the listing presentations of almost every office in each of our markets. Yours is at the very least as good. In 95% of the cases, it's so much better. There's really no comparison. Are you utilizing them? Do you know how to give them? Are you smooth? Are you sending them in advance? Are you coming in ready to give your listing presentation? Let me tell you the 5 things every single seller asks me when they list their property with me. Are you prepared to have that conversation? Are you talking about marketing packages, your CB1, 2, and 2, 3? The fact that you've got a company and a staff behind you that's there to execute on a level of marketing that is just flat better, that's just flat, it's more effective, it exposes better. You can talk about the numbers, 150,000 page views or video, all of the numbers. Do you know it? Are you talking about it? How about your Coldwell Banker network? Especially for those in the resort markets, shouldn't we be talking about how the primary feeder markets that people are coming from are in fact dominated by Coldwell Banker? Should we be talking about what that means to our client, that we have the ability to connect with our folks in those markets and expose their property? I think so. How about CBX? CBX is a no-brainer. Again, just like smart homes, nobody else has it. Are you using it at every single listing appointment that you go on? Because if you're not, you're missing a huge opportunity to, again, establish yourself as exceptional, not just different, as great, not just good. How about the fact that this Coldwell Banker Distinctive Properties is one of the top 50 Coldwell Banker companies in the world? That's fantastic. Leverage it, leverage it. And last on my list, number 10, for goodness sakes, please do not practice on your prospects. All right, biggest faux pas ever. Make sure that you've role played this. Matter of fact, here's my challenge to you right now. As soon as this video is over, go find yourself a role play partner. Schedule, commit to role playing 3 times a week. And you guys role play, whatever it is. Is it your phone call? Is it your listing presentation? Is it your door knocking? Do not practice these on your prospect. You only have one shot at getting this right. If you don't get it right, you're not exceptional and it's not great. You're just maybe different. Bottom line, today, you got to make it about the entire package. It can't just be about the company. It can't just be about you. It can't just be about your office. You got to wrap everything together. You've got to make sure that your story makes you exceptional. It separates you from everybody. And if you'll do that, and you'll combine that with all the lead generation, those opportunities, those at-bats, your conversion, folks, it should be north of 90%. Those of you that are doing these things, and there are many of you that are, you're crushing it. You look at your inventory levels going down, down, down in your market, and yet those of you that are doing this stuff, your inventory numbers are going up. This is hugely important. It was without question one of the top topics of the entire leadership summit in Nashville, and I hope that you will leverage us, because remember, in the end, it's together we win. As always, I'm here for you.